What's up, y'all? Michael here today with another video. Before we begin, please go subscribe if you are new, hit that like button. Or if you're a bot or a Packers fan, just go ahead and pay your bot and dislike my video. Alright, but anyway, let's get to my predictions. But first, I want to get into these two memes and want to address them. Of course, it's about the Bears, obviously. So the first meme I'm going to show you is the NFL remaining unbeaten teams. You know that game Among Us where you have to find the imposter? Like it's a video game. It's like Trouble in Terrorist Town and Gary's mod, and you have to find the traitor. So apparently they're showing all the remaining 3-0 teams. The Seattle Seahawks, the Buffalo Bills, the Tennessee Titans, the Chicago Bears, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Green Bay Packers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And everybody said it was the Bears. Like, we can go undefeated right now, and they would call us the worst undefeated team in the NFL. They would do that. Not to mention that the Bills, that I can speak who's the number one imposter. Obviously, you would say that I would say it's Green Bay. Actually, it's not because Green Bay hasn't really faced it. Yeah, Green Bay hasn't faced anybody legitimate, but I can tell you who's the imposter of. It's the Buffalo Bills because the Buffalo Bills needed a BS pass interference call to beat the Rams. So I can tell you who's the real imposter. It's not the Bears, it's the Buffalo Bills we're talking about. You can like, where was this smoke when that fluke of a team, the worst 13-3 team of all time, which was the Packers, where was this smoke? When they barely beat anybody, they needed NFL officials to help them beat anybody. They most likely needed any luck they can have to be 13-3. But they were quiet. The media was quiet as a church mouse. That was the worst 13-3 team I've ever seen in my life. Waste of a first round bye. But all we kept hearing, a win is a win. So why aren't we keeping the same energy with the Bears? The Bears can literally go to the Super Bowl right now, and they would say we are the worst team to make the Super Bowl because we can do no right. All right, let's go to the second meme, shall we? All right, so this is kind of the Simpsons meme. I've never really watched Simpsons, so I don't know what episode this is. So, as you know, he's standing up straight for whatever reason, and there's like stuff wrong with him. I think it's to cover his fatness or something. So, undefeated Bears, Deion Swift drop catch, 0-7 opponents, 2 lucky comebacks. Now, they don't want to admit that the Lions choked that game and relied on DeAndre. First of all, it's actually DeAndre Swift, but I don't really think they spelled that right. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. But as of right now, they don't want to admit that the Lions choked the game and give that game away to the Bears. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. They just say Deion Swift dropped the pass, even though that the Lions actually blow that game and had to rely on a rookie running back, which we don't know if he's actually going to be elite. All right. 0-7 opponents, even though the Detroit Lions actually won a game, and 2 lucky comebacks. Now, how are those 2 games considered luck? If you want to consider the DeAndre Swift drop pass, the drop catch, I'll give you a little bit of credit, but at the end of the day, folks, it's kind of the team's fault for blowing a lead. At the end of the day, folks, 3-0 is still 3-0. but they were quiet as a church mouse when the Green Bay Packers were 13-3 and barely beated anybody. So let's get back to my predictions. Now that we got those memes pretty much out of the way. So as you know, the Bears face the Indianapolis Colts tomorrow at home, and we will be wearing our orange uniforms. So we're gonna pretty much look like fruit oranges the entire time. So the Colts team is pretty much updated from last year. Sorry, I'm recording this pretty early because I'm drinking soda. But as of right now, the Colts are pretty much upgraded from last year. Yeah, they haven't played the easiest opponents, but they actually have the #1 defense in the NFL. Could change the could change it could change the dirt it could regress, but as of right now, folks, the Colts defense is #1 in the league. And this kind of reminds me of 2018 when Nick Foles went up against the insane 2018 Bears defense. And Nick Foles won that game barely. But this is not going to be a winnable game. This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a fight for the ages, folks. It's going to be Nick Foles versus the Colts secondary, and it's going to be the Colts good offensive line versus the Bears defensive line. So let me get to you some key players for the Colts. So the Bears will have to look out for the offensive line. Quentin Nelson. He's the reason. He's the main. I want to say he's the main core of the reason why the Colts offensive line has been very good this past 2 years, ever since he got drafted. And for the receiving core, it's going to be T.Y. Hilton. The running game, since Marlon Mack is out, Jonathan Taylor looks very promising. And the defense, Harrison Buckner needs to be looked on, and Xavier Rhodes. So pretty much this Colts team, yeah, they haven't. You can say that they haven't played anybody impressive. You can say that, but they've been like their only embarrassing loss was week 1 against the Jaguars. Like they should have won that game, but I don't know why. I think it's because the Jacksonville Jaguars made Phillip Rivers hold on to the ball a lot. So pretty much this Colts team is updated from the last year because remember, they were pretty much a surprising team. You know, with Andrew Luck, they could have been a Super Bowl team if Andrew Luck didn't. They could have been a Super Bowl caliber team if Andrew Luck didn't retire. Because after Andrew Luck retired, all gone. Like Jacoby Brissett is a decent quarterback, but he's not the quarterback to lead a team to a Super Bowl. Like the Colts defense, no, not the Colts defense. The Colts were a surprising team last year. They just needed a quarterback, which I don't know. I don't really understand why they got Colin Kaepernick. They didn't get Colin Kaepernick or Cam Newton, but Phillip Rivers has been pretty average lately. He hasn't been to the elite level yet, but he's been pretty average so far. Could this change? Yes, he could progress. He could turn into the Phillip Rivers that we saw in the Chargers. But as of right now, folks, he looks like he has been pretty decent lately. No, not decent. He's been pretty average. But let's go to the injury report for the Bears and the Colts. So there's only 2 injury reports on the Indianapolis Colts. Wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr., the rookie that they drafted. You know, subscribe to Michael Pittman Jr. on YouTube. So shout out to him, by the way, and him and his girlfriend do an amazing job so far. So shout out to them, by the way. And their CB TY carry, the CB is out. So pretty much probably won't affect them that much, but it probably won't affect them that much, but as of right now, the injury report doesn't look that's too severe for the Indianapolis Colts. For the Bears, everything's clean. It's just Shane McManus might be out, but that's not too much of a concern to me. The only concern is Tariq Cohen, which I'll get to in a second. So if you don't know, Tariq Cohen tore his ACL. He's out for the season, which pretty much it's a huge loss because I've always liked Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen has always been that explosive guy. He's the only type of running back that could catch a football. Like he's been that type of guy. Darren Sproles is actually his inspiration that kind of reminds me of. But folks, as of right now, he's out for the season. That is definitely heartbreaking. Tariq Cohen is actually on my fantasy team, and now we have to. Here's what we did to replace Tariq Cohen. I know we signed Lamar Miller, but he is most likely gonna get more. He's probably gonna get activated to the roster, and Artavius Pierce might have to go back to practice squad. Folks, as I've seen his tape, Artavius Pierce, he looks like a pretty solid running back, but he's undrafted. He's considered a rookie. You don't know what you're gonna get out of a rookie. Lamar Miller, I know what I'm gonna get because Lamar Miller is still a stud. Is still a stud from the Texans. So I don't know. That could change, but I want to see what Artavius Pierce can do before I start saying that we should start Lamar Miller. All right, folks. So that is a huge loss. I wish Tariq Cohen the best. It sucks. Because he worked very hard the off season. He's been doing workout videos on his Instagram. I've been watching him on Twitch. He plays Black Ops 3, I think. I'm not sure. I don't play Call of Duty anymore, but I've been seeing him on Twitch lately. He looked like he was ready to go. He looked like he was prepared, but injuries happen, folks. It's the NFL. So let me get to my game predictions. Nick Foles will have so as you right now, Nick Foles is the starting quarterback. It's not Mitchell Trubisky anymore. It's no longer him. It's Nick Foles. Unless Nick Foles gets injured or plays bad, expect Nick Foles to start the whole season. Expect that. I'm worried about this move. I'm just hoping Matt Nagy did the right decision by starting Nick Foles. I'm hoping it's the correct decision because, folks, if Nick Foles gets injured or plays bad, guess who's sitting on the bench? Number 10. Guess who's sitting on the bench? Number 10. I'm hoping he'll make the right decision, but as of right now, I'm going to talk about Nick Foles. So I'm expecting Nick Foles to have a huge game. 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, clean interceptions. Who will those 3 touchdowns go to? 1 to Cole Clement, which I really want him to get involved in this. 1 to Anthony Miller. one to Allen Robinson. So Nick Foles is going to have a huge game. The defense MVP might be Kyle Fuller. I'm expecting Kyle Fuller to have one interception. One interception that game. So what's the score you all want me to predict? I'm predicting the Bears win 27-13. I want to get my hopes high, but as of now, the Colts offense hasn't shown much yet. It's been mostly their defense. So this defense is going to be tough. I'm not sure about the offense because the offense is absolutely looking pretty solid as of right now. But as of right now, folks, this offense doesn't look like they can put up the numbers. The defense, however, is going to be a tough one. But anyway, the time for talk is over. It's time to play. It's time to play. I'll be going live Monday during the Packers and the Falcons game after that. So, after halftime. So, anyway, that's it. That's all for today's video. Subscribe. My name is Michael, and I approve this message.